Samsung Galaxy S23 honest review. This is a look at one of the top flagship phones of 2023 coming into 2024. This is going to be an honest take of the new small Samsung Galaxy S23. Okay, if you're a fan of the channel, you know that I love one-handed phones, and this phone is probably one of the best on the market right now for one-handed use. I use this in conjunction with an iPhone 15 Pro, and I prefer the size, shape, and weight of the 23 compared to the iPhone. The iPhone is still a bit bulky, it's still significantly heavier, and it still feels thicker in my hand than the 23. When I pick this phone up, I just love how it feels. The refined edges, the sort of squared off design, the nice matte back. It just feels clean. It feels great. It feels like what a smartphone in 2023 should feel like. The fingerprint recognition is fast. The facial unlock also works very well, is very easy, and you can see that in that example right there. The display, bright, beautiful, typical Samsung OLED quality. What a stunning phone to pick up and hold in your hand. And if we put the iPhone and the Galaxy together side by side, you can really see what I'm talking about here. Almost identical in terms of size, but you can really see a difference in terms of thickness and as well as bulk on these two phones when you look at them this way. I mean, obviously the iPhone is probably one of the most popular phones in the world, and it's one of the phones that people think about when they think about luxury or premium smartphones. But when you compare that to the Samsung Galaxy S23, you really see how the quality of the Samsung stands up in comparison to the iPhone. And we're talking about a pretty significant difference in pricing here too. Much cheaper on the Galaxy than compared to the iPhone Pro line. Unlocked in the US, this runs about $850 for 128 gigs, and this runs about $1,000 for 128 gigs. And to me, the biggest comparison or the biggest reason you would choose one over the other, unless you're a fanboy of the operating systems, is going to be the cameras, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. I got to be honest with you guys, the iPhone wins in the camera battle. This is just one example out of many that I took side by side, just action shots, just candid, quick action shots in my household. And this is a great example of the Galaxy on the left, the iPhone on the right, and you can see just jumping out right away, right? We've got a huge difference in contrast in the iPhone compared to the Galaxy. The Galaxy kind of looks a little more washed out. The iPhone significantly more contrasty. When you zoom in on details, you can see particularly how the detail in these two characters here, the difference between the iPhone and the Galaxy. If we scroll up, we can see in the face, much more detail in the face compared to here. It's a little noisy and a little more washed out. And this is typical of the indoor lighting shots that I've seen on both of these devices when I use them. The results from the iPhone are quicker, better, and they just produce more accurate, better looking photos consistently than the Galaxy. But enough about the iPhone, we'll get that out of the way here. That's just more of a comparative discussion between the two devices. When we talk about the Galaxy and we talk about things like USB-C charging, waterproof design, triple camera, great display, easy to use Android. Android has been perfected over the last few years in that the apps are smooth, the scrolling is smooth, the OS is solid, the notifications are fantastic, probably the best in the smartphone industry if you ask me. This is a solid device, and when you use it, you really do fall in love with it. It's a fantastic all-around cell phone. If you're like me and you like a one-handed device, don't hesitate to check this out. They do offer it in 128, 256, and 512. It's a fantastic value for the money. The only downside is that when Samsung comes out with a 24, are you going to be looking at the 24 wondering if you made the right purchase and if you should upgrade right away. Hope you guys have enjoyed this honest quick review of the Samsung Galaxy S23. Check out everything else I have on YouTube. Rate, comment, and subscribe.